What it is, what it do? You already know who it is. It's your boy back again with another episode of Doki Doki Blue Skies. I apologize for cucking everybody last episode, but it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. And I knew you'd be excited to see this episode. But I'm not going to waste any more time. Just going to get right into it.
Oh my! Qilin, this looks incredible. This looks incredible.
Inside is the white day cake I picked out for her. The cake was mom's idea, and given its elegant design, I was definitely not complaining. She was convinced that Yuri would love it, and based on Yuri's reaction, it's safe to say that motherly instincts are pretty accurate.
Thank you. I really appreciate this. But you didn't have to get this for me, silly. Not that I don't appreciate your gift.
Oh, I know I didn't have to, but I wanted to. I leaned forward and planted a kiss directly on her lips. Oh man, being bold. PDA is forbidden in school, but my man wasted no time. Her eyes widen as I quickly pull away, grinning. Yuri's like,
oh, my word. You do know how to fluster me, don't you?
That I do. Happy White Day, Yuri. The red blush on Yuri's cheeks made the wait 100% worth it. Come on, examiner fishes could wait one evening. Spend the rest of the day with me.
How could I say no?
Yaw, White Day. Yaw, White Day swag. After swinging the door open, I call out for Mom. Mom! No reply. Huh, is she out?
There's a note here, Qilin. It says she's gone out to town to see some friends. She'll be back later in the evening. And that you should call her if there's anything we need.
So we're home alone? Foolish mortal.
Yes, it would seem that way.
What should we do?
Well...
She starts fidgeting. Why has it suddenly got really awkward? Oh. I really need to think about things before I speak. I didn't mean...
It's okay. Would you like to make a bento box with me? If I recall, you seemed to really enjoy my bento when we shared with Natsuki.
Relieved at the topic change, I eagerly jump at her suggestion. Oh, okay. It's much more innocent than I thought it was going to be. Okay. This is fine too. Yeah, sounds good. Mom did a lot of food shopping yesterday, and she made bento boxes before, so I'm fairly sure she'll have some ingredients. She'll have the ingredients, rather. What are you thinking of putting in it?
We should decide that once we see what ingredients we have at our disposal.
Oh yeah, good point. We start rummaging through the cabinets. Well, more like I rummage. Yuri looks a little hesitant, clearly unsure if it's her place to be rifling through my kitchen. Do you have anything in mind?
Mine are usually quite simple. Rice or noodles, some kind of protein, and cooked vegetables. Standard home-cooked affair, you know. But given that it's White Day, how about we cook something a bit more extravagant for it?
What are you thinking?
Do you know how to make sushi?
No, but I'm willing to try for the end result. Oh, okay. Homemade sushi for White Day.
Ooh, alright then. We need to make some other side dishes using vegetables like soybeans too. Oh, we could rather. For the sushi itself, fish would do nicely, but if you don't have any, we could do with an alternative.
I ducked my head out of the fridge and turned to Yuri with a bemused expression on my face. You could look with me, you know. It's your house as much as it's mine.
Oh, right, of course.
With her help, we we were quickly able to identify appropriate ingredients and soon begin preparing the meal.
Okay, so after you finish chopping that, add it to the water in the pot and turn up the heat until it's boiling, and then turn it back to medium. Don't forget to add the seasonings to the water too.
And I have to chop up all these vegetables, right?
Yes, the lotus root, carrots, white radish, and mushrooms. Obviously, you don't have to chop up the soybeans and konbu.
Got it.
In the meantime, I'll get started on the rice.
We both get to work, and soon the smells of a delicious meal start wafting through the kitchen. Thankfully, the meals are particularly difficult to prepare, so we're able to talk about other things while preparing it. I don't think Mom would believe her eyes if she saw what I was doing right now.
Oh, the cooking?
Yeah, but not just that. I don't think she ever expected that my first girlfriend would have taught me how to make delicious meals like this.
First girlfriend?
Oh. Sorry, I didn't mean like... Ugh. Way to go, Qilin. It's not that big of a deal. She's like... Maybe she's more shocked that you've never had a girlfriend before her. So maybe she feels kind of honored that she's your first girlfriend. Maybe in that kind of sense, I don't know. Because I don't think Yuri would think less of you because he never had a girlfriend before. The silence is proving to be excruciatingly awkward. It was just a stupid choice of word. Oh, okay, no, I get it now. Because he said first girlfriend, implying that there's a chance in the future that he'd be with somebody else. I think that's where the awkwardness came from. Anyway, I guess it's a pleasant surprise for her. I've always been a lazy cook, if you could even call me a cook.
Well, there's no better time to learn than the present.
Another wise bit of insight from you. She smiles slightly, but I could tell that what I said is still playing on her mind. Did I really mess up that badly? I was trying to say that we wouldn't last. And in case you didn't get it before, now they explain it to you. Either way, I'm not really a fan of how quiet she suddenly became. But hey, at least Mom really likes you. At least Mom really likes you, at least. The at least is redundant. At least Mom really likes you. Do you think your parents would have liked me?
Qilin, would you mind spitting the cooked rice into a bowl?
Sure thing. I do as she requests, awaiting her next command.
Next, you want to stir together the rice vinegar and sugar until they dissolve. Then mix it into the cooked rice, the cooled rice.
And done.
Okay, now, I'll deal with the nori sheet.
She starts with the sushi preparations, delicacy and precision in every movement.
Yes, I certainly think they would have approved of you, Qilin. Although, I think they might have been a little surprised. No doubt expecting my boyfriend to be more of a reader. At least before we started dating. I remember my father used to joke that boys might break your heart, but books will always be there for you.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
That little quip always made me smile.
Is that the kind of humor you like?
Neither of my parents were sarcastic, so sarcasm is, well, quite lost on me, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Surprised you're dating me then. You know how snarky I can be.
Funnily enough, it's actually one of the things I appreciate about you the most.
Oh, really? But you said you don't really get sarcasm.
I didn't, at least initially, but being around you has given me more of an insight on a new style of humor, which I enjoy. Much like with literature, there's variety in humor.
That is true. Some humor you don't get, some humor you just love.
You have a knack for making me laugh, don't forget.
I'm glad that my comedy genius is finally being recognized.
See what I mean? Anyway, I think we're ready to mix the mackerel with the mayonnaise and spring onion.
That's an interesting combination. We're gonna use black pepper for seasoning, right?
Yes, we are. You're learning quick.
Happens when you learn from the best. I swiftly play another kiss, this time on Yuri's forehead. I don't know why I'm feeling especially affectionate today. Must be white date, but damn is it enjoyable. I mean, you should be happy. You should want to feel affectionate with the woman in your life. I mean, come on. As part of the fun, if you don't feel that desire to be affectionate with your woman, you're doing something wrong. An hour or so later, we're both digging into our meals. It's a shame Mom wasn't around to see us making a dish together. You could have made a bento for her, I suppose. Then again, maybe then she'd believe me. Is it just me, or does food taste a lot better when you've made it yourself?
Most definitely. It's something I've come to appreciate.
Maybe I could teach Sayori one day. Her diet is probably worse than mine.
Speaking of Sayori, what did you two get up to?
Oh, on the day where we hung out? Yuri nods. Went down memory lane, I guess. Both literally and figuratively. We went to the park where we first met. Talked about life, I guess. I'm glad I got to apologize to her, though. That Gil has been hanging over me for some time. Great choice of words there, hanging.
I assume she was rather forgiving.
Oh yeah, of course. Told me not to worry about abandoning her, and that it's a given I'd spend more time with you. She was happy that I'm back in her life, and she gets to see me in school and stuff. Hearing her words helped, but I don't know, I still feel a little guilty.
That's completely normal, Qilin. The most important thing is to remember that she doesn't hold anything against you, and that you two are still good friends. There's plenty of time to be able to spend time with her again. After all, you both enjoyed each other's company, did you not?
Yeah, we did. Even though our friendship isn't exactly the same as it used to be, we were still able to get along like nothing had really happened. The playful teasing, the shared nostalgia.
She really makes you happy, doesn't she?
I nod. I don't think I'll ever meet someone as strong, carefree. I don't think I'll ever meet anyone else with such a strong, carefree, bubbly persona.
You always do look exuberant around her.
Eh? Yuri's feeling some type of way. It's more so because of her own insecurities, but do I?
Yes, you do. Perhaps it's buried in your subconscious.
Well, I guess I do have fun hanging out with her. It's nice to be around somebody who doesn't take things that seriously. Like, I could just chill with her and joke about random stuff. She's gotten really good at being able to cheer me up, too.
I see.
I mean, how could someone always smiling not cheer you up? This asshole doesn't even recognize that Yuri's expression is slowly getting sadder. Again, he's making the cardinal sin of talking about another woman in the face of a woman who has feelings for you. It probably activates mirror neurons or something. The way Sayori's laugh could be so infectious. You get what I mean? Yeah. Where is this sudden dramatic tension coming from?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's because you've been talking about another girl in front of your girlfriend the entire time, when she has feelings for you, mate. Come the fuck on. For fuck's sake, bro. Get your act together.
Yuri, is everything okay? You seem kinda off.
Qilin, you're usually quite in tune with others' feelings, but sometimes you can be extremely dense.
Jeez, I never claimed that I could read people's minds. It's like, see, even Yuri had to come out and say it. Dude, you're dense as fuck, bro. I'm serious because he is dense as fuck. I was like, how could he not realize that Yuri's feeling some type of way about this? How can he not realize that Sayori is feeling some type of way? How could he not realize that the Valentine's Day note that was left for him was from Sayori in the first place? until it literally had to be pointed out to him. This freaking guy, man. Sometimes he's on point, but most of the times he's just incredibly dense. He's as dense as a rock. Bro. In fact, I'd probably say he's as dense as tungsten. This freaking guy. Anyway, what's with the sudden change in tone? I thought we were having a great time cooking. You were. Then you started talking about another girl. And Yuri just got sadder.
You always grin so broadly when you're with Sayori.
Is she even listening to me? Like I said before, if I do, I don't notice it.
Well, even if you don't notice yourself, other people can. If you contrast it with how you act around me, there's a marked difference.
A marked difference? Well, off the top of my head, I kiss and cuddle with you. That's something I shouldn't be doing with other people, right? I reach out and pull Yuri into a hug, but she shies away from me. Yuri?
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? I suppose it's so ingrained in you that you wouldn't notice until I outright said it.
If I'm supposedly this dense, feel free to enlighten me on the matter. I know that I shouldn't be getting sarcastic with her, but I can't help feeling more and more irritated as this conversation continues.
You always look your happiest when you're with Sayori. Even when you just talk about her, think about your past with her.
Well, I don't know about happiest, but she's my childhood friend. It's natural to feel happy when I think about someone I've known for years and years, isn't it?
It's just as I suspected.
Huh?
She makes you happier than I do, doesn't she?
What? My mind is spinning. How do we go from making food together and sharing kisses to this? It's all your fault. You couldn't stop running your mouth. You couldn't see that Yuri was feeling some type of way. You couldn't see that Yuri was feeling insecure about the fact that you have a good relationship with Sayori, to the point where it seems like you have a better relationship with Sayori than you do with her. Do you understand? Clearly you don't understand. But I'm just sitting here like, broski, it's like so obvious, bro. I'm like, come the heck on, man. Yuri, we spoke about this. Where is this coming from? She doesn't reply, instead opting to fiddle with her sleeves. Oh no. Oh no, it's coming again. The urges are returning. Come on, Yuri, talk to me.
If you spoke about this before, then why don't you understand why I'm upset?
Just because you know why you're upset doesn't mean I know. Can you just tell me what's wrong?
I don't understand how you can analyze books so extensively, but remain blind when it comes to things like this.
Ugh, I really don't want to play the blame game, but... Look, I think I get that you might be feeling jealous. I mean, you just explicitly compared yourself to her. But I don't get why you're suddenly this upset when we've been having such a nice time.
You realize that you were talking at length about how you feel about Sayori.
Yeah?
And on our white day date night, no less.
You started the conversation about her, though. Yes, but you should have been smart enough to realize that Yuri was feeling some type of way. And you should know better not to make the cardinal sin of talking about another woman with a woman that has feelings for you. That doesn't go well. Even if you're in a polygynous situation, you need to find women that are understanding and are kind of cool with each other. Because in cases like this, talking about another woman with a woman that has feelings for you doesn't go well. I should know. I've seen it and tested it firsthand. And I know for a fact, talking about another woman with a woman that has feelings for you doesn't work. It never does.
I was admittedly curious about what you did with her in the beginning, but didn't mean for it to spawn an entire conversation about how you felt towards Sayori. After a while, I was only engaging in the conversation with you to be polite. I didn't want to just ignore what you said about her. I suppose it was too much to expect you to be more tactful about it.
Again, I'm not a mind reader. How am I supposed to know when you're upset? How am I supposed to know when you're upset when you rarely explicitly express it? You could tell by the expression on her face. And you should know by the fact in the past that she feels some type of way about Sayori, about you and Sayori's relationship. You should know that, because you said it yourself. You spoke about it in the past, so you should know that, based on your past conversation with Yuri, talking about Sayori and how you feel toward her is a touchy subject for her. So, you should keep your conversations about your feelings about Sayori to a minimum. But that's what people with tact and social awareness do. Why can't you just tell me things? Again, that also helps too. Being outright communicative with your partner does go a long way. Because, ladies, we're not mind readers. Sometimes we make mistakes. And sometimes we don't always know what you want from us. And it would go a long way if you just sometimes outright tell us, because we may not get it all the time. Because most of the times we would do the same for you. We would outright tell you how we feel about certain things instead of just trying to hide it. And I think if everyone is on the same page, then we could reach a better level of understanding and mutual respect.
I'm guessing that you don't have these kind of arguments with Sayori.
Of course not. Because I'm not dating her. Are you sure this is just about jealousy? A little about her own insecurities too. I thought that you said you weren't jealous of my hanging out with Sayori before. Didn't you say that you were only jealous of her personality and our close relationship itself? Bruh. Did you say you're only jealous of her personality and our close relationship? You don't think that's something to take into consideration? What?
Yes, I did.
Then is there something more that you're upset about? If you have a problem, just tell me. Stop beating around the bush, or I'll never get what you want to say. Or I'll never get what you want to say.
Do you know how difficult it is for me to tell people how I'm feeling? I've spent the past decade or so of my life suppressing my outwardly shown emotions.
But you can try, can't you?
This is me trying, Qilin. I just communicate more subtly.
Okay, how about you try communicating unsubtly then?
You don't get it. The difficulty I have when speaking about these things is almost as if there's something physically blocking my throat.
That's just your own thoughts in your head making you feel that way though, right? Just get it over with and blur out your inner thoughts, like ripping off a band-aid. I know you can do it, Yuri.
With all due respect, Qilin, I didn't ever tell you about my self-harm of my own accord. It was purely by accident that you found out.
Even so, it felt better after you talked to me about it, right?
Yes, but...
So just tell me what's bothering you. I can't help you if I don't know what's going on. I mean, he does have a point though, Yuri. He got you there. She doesn't reply. The sudden, strange silence feels more uncomfortable by the second. Yuri. I sigh inwardly. I hate apologizing for things that aren't my fault. I'm sorry, okay? I know how you feel, so... Do you? Do you know how she feels? Which is probably going to be the next thing she says.
No, you don't. How could you possibly know what this feels like, Qilin? Do you constantly consider yourself an embarrassment? Do you know how it feels to have people feel nothing but pity towards you? To have people say that you're a freak?
Well, no, but...
That's precisely my point.
Alright. Jeez, I get it. Just because I don't have those specific problems doesn't mean I don't have my own ones to deal with, you know? Everyone around us has their own demons, so stop acting like it's only you. I wince as soon as those words leave my mouth. They sound a lot less harsh in my head. The look of deep hurt on Yuri's face prompts me to quickly try and undo the damage that's been unleashed. No, there's no need to undo the damage. I mean, you're right. Because I think it's a situation is like you're right though, and I mean it hurts because it's like you don't want to be mean to her, but at the same time, That's something Yuri probably needed to hear, because Yuri's been so caught up in her own problems that it's to an extent hard for her to understand other people's problems as well. So you just coming out with the fact of saying, look, you're not the only one with problems, get over yourself. It was probably just a dose of reality she needs to really like think about things. So in a way, you both are kind of helping each other out, just in probably the least pleasant fashion possible, I would imagine. Ugh. I really rub my forehead with my hands. It's really frustrating being told that my problems don't matter, you know? Also, this took a way different twist than I thought it was going to. I'll be completely honest with you. White day swag, am I right?
That's not what I said.
Like, how would you feel if I did this stuff? Refused to talk to you about any negativity I was feeling towards you and, well, cut myself.
I'd feel like I deserve it.
What? Did she really just say that? I expect her to get angry and lash out. That provides such a self-deprecating remark. I mean, come on. You should realize in the past that her self-esteem is in the dirt. She's extremely self-conscious and has a very low opinion of herself. You should know that from all the time you spent with her. That's why she's cutting herself in the first place. Deserve?
Let's be honest, Qilin. I'm an awful girlfriend.
I have to force myself not to roll my eyes or sigh in exasperation. Yuri seizes on my silence and carries on with the depreciative tirade.
I hide things from you. You always do nice things for me. What thoughtful things have I done for you, Qilin?
She doesn't even let me answer as she forcefully carries on.
You organized a lovely day out on our Valentine's Day, and I couldn't even return the favor for White Day. Here we are, acting like it's just any other day. All because I couldn't help even organize something romantic for us. It's another pathetic trait of mine that I'll never be able to shake, no matter how much I will it away.
Her breathing grows faster and faster, and her tone is becoming more and more venomous. The feeling of being unable to reach her while she stands in front of me is unbelievably demoralizing.
I'm trying to be the perfect girlfriend for you. I really am. I thought that by making love to you it would help. After all, it seems that's the only thing I could provide for you.
Wait. What? Back up a second there, Yuri. What exactly do you mean by that? It means that she thought the only thing she was good for was sex. That's the only thing she thought she could provide for you, because her opinion of herself is that low. It's lower than the dirt. It's lower than the worms. It's lower than the fecal matter that the worms produce in the dirt. That's how low we're talking here. Please don't tell me you felt like you had to have sex with me. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She doesn't even nod or say yes. The silence is as damning as in confirming my fear.
I thought it was what I had to do.
You said you wanted to.
I wanted to please you.
I run my hands through my face. It feels like everything that was going so well mere moments ago is just suddenly being flipped on its head. No. Yuri, you don't have to be perfect. Why didn't you just say something? If you weren't comfortable, that's all you had to say. But of course, it isn't that easy for her, is it?
I'm sorry. I know I should have said something.
I don't know what to say. Everything I know was a lie. Even just getting it in was under false pretenses. My mind is still trying to process what I'm hearing. Things really haven't been going as well as I thought they were. With my face in my hands, I hear Yuri get up and walk away from me. Oh no, I know what she's gonna do. Wait, where are you going?
I need the bathroom.
Instantly, my mind flashes back to the last time I saw her in the bathroom. The razor, The gasp of pain. The vicious jagged cuts on her forearm. The very arm that she's clutching right now.
Yuri! Don't! I can't help it!
Yuri runs from the room, already starting to push up her sleeves. In a panic, I follow her. Even from the glimpses I catch from behind her, I'm forward a sight that I didn't wish to see. All the scars on her arm, they're back again! A crisscross of gashes, each in a different state of healing. Although most look scabbed over, a few smaller ones look more fresh. I could tell by making out little specks of blood leaking from the wound. It's heartbreaking to see. I grab her shoulder when I catch up to her and stop her in her tracks. To my surprise, however, Yuri begins scratching her at her wrists, an action which catches me off guard. I was expecting her to pull out a blade of some sorts. This is the first time I've actually seen her in the act, and it's a sight like nothing I've ever seen before. She's positively ripping and tearing at her arm, raking her nails down her skin and leaving angry red streaks in their wake. Dark red dots of blood spot her scratch marks. The raw, visceral nature of them, desperately scratching, frightens me. It's almost as though she's trying to destroy all the progress she's made into healing, just to leave ugly reminders of her flaws behind. Ugly. This is the first time I've associated that word with Yuri. But no amount of bleeding that her scars are beautiful. But no amount of bleeding that her scars are beautiful would change the fact that they're frankly the opposite. I'm struck by a pang of guilt at the thought. Should I be thinking about self-harm like this? I mean, it's an ugly thing. Let's just be honest. It's an ugly thing that quite frankly nobody should have to go through. It's a very ugly thing. So it's only natural for you to feel like that. I mean, you want to help the person cope and stop them from doing that kind of thing. But the facts are facts. It's an ugly thing. So it only makes sense for you to think that way. But I shouldn't act like I'm blind to the scars, right? Either way, it's all irrelevant in the moment. Gotta concentrate on Yuri. What are you doing? She doesn't reply, instead opting to tear away scabs with her fingernails. Yuri! What? What are you doing? What do you think I'm doing? There's a sharp, biting edge to her tone.
Do you think cutting was the only way you could self-harm?
Yeah? Especially since you said scratching doesn't do it for you?
Yuri, please. Please, just stop.
In desperation, I reach out to grab her arm. However, she quickly wrenches it out of my grip and jumps aside. Her scratching continues more furiously than ever. All of my instincts are screaming at me to intervene, but every time I step towards her, she shies away. As the scratching carries on, the expression on her face slowly grows more relaxed. It's awful knowing that the only thing causing her to relax is the pain she's inflicting onto herself. Eventually, the scratching comes to an end. The slow trickle of blood down her wrist matches the slow trickle of tears down her face. My brain is trying to process what I've just witnessed Yuri self-harming. Needless to say, it's not doing a very good job. Silence falls between us. What am I even meant to say? You don't need to say anything. If I were you, I would just walk away. Take some time to yourself to really think about what you just saw. And then Yuri's gonna feel some type of way and probably come back to talk to you.
I told you I was a freak.
We have to get you some help for this, Yuri. This really can't carry on. Yuri snorts at my statement. What?
Do you think I don't know that it's bad?
If you know it, then why do you keep doing this? Is it going to happen every time we have an argument?
I can't.
I can't help but feel anger at those words as those words resound through my head. Why not?
How would you even know? You haven't even tried. This could be avoided if If I just what, Qilin? Therapy isn't just some magical fairy tale fix. I've already told you that's not that easy for me, yet you seem to continually forget in your self-righteous lectures. Lectures? Really? That's what you think these are? I mean, how would you like it if I cut and scratch myself bloody? How would you like it if I turned my arms into an ugly mess? Silence. I didn't even realize I was breathing heavily until now. And worst of all, the distressed look on Yuri's face tells me that for the first time tonight, I might have just crossed the line. Wordlessly, she quickly yanks her sleeves down and pushes past me. With heartbreaking realization, I quickly see that fresh tears are now leaking down her face once more. Yuri, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that. I was just, no, you meant it. Because when you're in that emotional state, you say what you're really feeling. But the thing is, you're right. It is ugly. But the thing is, you wouldn't be that upset if you didn't care about her. And you're just infuriated to see someone you actually care about in that low of a place. And instead of trying to do something to help them, instead of them doing something to help themselves, they're just looking more self-destructive. And that's infuriating to see if you really care about somebody. So all the things you were hiding back, that just all came out because you weren't thinking, you were acting. I desperately reach out for her once more, but she whirls around in my touch, wearing an expression that honestly terrifies me. I don't want to hear it! Her expression, the line, the delivery, the tone. Out of reflex, I shrink back. She storms out of the corridor. Distantly, I hear her making her way out of my house. The slam of the door makes me wince. And so, I'm left standing there, trying to figure out what just happened. I slowly make my way back to the kitchen, bits and pieces of our argument flashing through my mind. The food's still on the table. If you just walked into the house, you would have never suspected that such a scene had taken place just moments before. I mean, could it have been handled better? Of course, there's always a time where arguments could be handled better. But it's like, I mean, I don't know. Because, like, I mean, yes. Should he have outright said that what she's doing is completely ugly to her face? No. Should Yuri have gone upset at him that he just really cares for her and that he's trying to look out for her in the only way he knows how? No, she shouldn't have. Both parties are kind of at fault here, so no one person is to blame for anything. But I mean, could this, like I said, could the situation have been handled much better? Of course. But at the same time, I think this is probably the only way this thing could have went, because they're both so emotionally charged over this. It's just, I don't know, things like this is complicated. Like, the only way you could have really avoided this situation is if you just walked away. But why would you at that point? What looked like warm and delicious food before now appears slimy and cold to me. As I slump down in a chair, I can't help but wonder what Yuri's going to do when she gets back home. I should have gone after her. No, you should not. The only thing you'd have done was pissed her off even more. You just need to leave her alone, cool off, and think about everything that transpired. I should have done anything but let her go. Well, I say that, but in reality, I know that I couldn't have done much. What was I supposed to do? Imprison her in my house? Physically restrain her until her impulses abated? If I had done that, I don't know if she would have ever forgiven me. I don't want to let her out. I don't want to out her to anyone else without her permission. So I don't think I should tell my friends or my mom. Would calling the police be an overreaction? Yes, it would. Unless you believe that she was in intimate danger of offing herself. If she were contemplating suicide, I would call, but well, yeah, that's exactly what I said. Didn't she say a long time ago that she specifically wasn't suicidal? Should I trust her words and leave her be? We just established that she doesn't necessarily tell me everything, though. Does that mean she would lie to me? But that doesn't mean she lied to me, though, right? With a sudden rush of adrenaline, I whip out my phone and call Yuri. She's not gonna pick up, bro.
Please pick up. The dial tone seems to mock me as it endlessly rings. No answer. Shit. I try again, and again, and again. Bro, she's not gonna pick up the phone with you. She's still upset with you. There's no way she's gonna pick up the phone. But there's still no answer. Feeling a bit of despair settling in my stomach, I opt to leave a pleading voicemail in the end. Well, that was foolish. It was foolish to expect a reply, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Unable to bear the sight of our white day dinner any longer, I stumbled into the living room and slumped down onto the sofa. I wonder when Mom's gonna come back. I'm gonna play an anime. Although I know full well that it's a pointless endeavor, I still reach for the TV remote and flick the television on, desperate for something to try and take the mind off of today's events. I can almost see the restless night coming up. Oh, I can almost sense the restless night coming up. God dang it. Just when I thought life was getting good. I really went and jinxed it, didn't I? Well, relationships are complicated, bro. Especially when you deal with somebody who has this many issues to deal with. I just hope Yuri and I could talk things over soon. Well, we shall see. There's only one way to find out, isn't that right? And that is just to go through and chill out, think things over. I wake up with a start. Strangely, I'm sitting on the sofa. I'm sitting on the couch with a blanket over me instead of lying in bed. Oh, Mom came back and put a blanket over us. As I pull the blanket off myself, fragments of memories suddenly flash in my mind. White day, cooking, yelling, blood, Yuri. Oh God, Yuri! Adrenaline starts pumping through me again as I weigh over all my choices. What could I have done differently? How did this all happen? Springing up from the couch, I rub my hands over my face and stumble into the kitchen. I hadn't even cleaned up our dinner yesterday. It's crazy how such a mundane chore can even seem urgent in the wake of what happened. Haha. But to my surprise, the dining table is cleared. The dishes are stacked neatly on the drying rack. In the blanket, Mom must have helped out. Mom? I feel like a child again as I walk through the house, looking for my mom. At this point, I feel like Mom's the only one who's been able to comfort me. Jeez, I must really be a mama's boy. I mean, to be fair, you're closer to your mom than anyone else, really. So, like, you'd only be a mama's. So it's only fair that you have a close relationship with your mom and you come to depend on her. You're only a mama's boy if you couldn't live without her. That's when you become a mama's boy. It's in my bedroom that I happened to find her. Mom's sitting at my desk, flipping through an old photo album.
Qilin, you're up.
Yeah, guess I am. I sit on my bed next to her. For a few moments, there's only the sound of the album pages crinkling as they turn. Finally, Mom breaks the silence.
Remember when we went to the beach that time?
She points out a photo of a small, chubby child digging a hole in wet sand at the beach. That must have been taken when I was 5? Maybe. You have to be more specific, though.
Come on, it was the time you peed yourself because you were too busy playing to go to the bathroom. Ironic because you could have peed in the ocean right next to you, but you had to wet your pants in front of everyone.
Hey, what's the point of bringing this up now? I could feel the heat rising in my face.
Haha, just reminiscing.
There's another flip of the page, followed by a sigh.
You were so cute as a kid.
So I'm not much of a looker now. Then?
Oh, now you're putting words in my mouth.
Mom gazes fondly down at another photo. It's one of her and Dad standing proudly in front of our house, my 7-year-old self striking a silly pose in between them.
Sometimes I wonder. Would have been better if I hadn't insisted on leaving your father. Should I have just put up with it for your sake?
No. Because if you two had an unhealthy relationship, it would have negatively affected your child. And then your child would have grown up seeing a dysfunctional relationship instead of knowing what it means to be really loved and supported by a parent. I know that because I've talked to my mom. My mom's talked to me about the same thing, and she tried to do that herself, put up with it, but it came to a point where it was just too much. And when it becomes too much, you end up putting the children in an unfortunate situation. Then that negates the whole purpose of putting up with it in the first place. I'm startled by the sudden change in topic. Mom never really talks about her feelings, much less the divorce. I mean, aren't you happier now?
There's no denying that. But still, there are plenty of people who stick through it for their kids' sake. I just couldn't do that, though. Sorry that your mom's so selfish.
But there wouldn't have been any use in staying together if all you would have done was keep on arguing. I could tell that you guys were both unhappy, you know? Plus, everything turned out alright in the end anyway. It's better to be single than in a toxic relationship. Ooh, Qilin, dropping jewels. I hope you remember that. I hope you remember those words, my boy.
A toxic relationship, huh?
Weren't you super stressed out all the time? I remember a lot of your arguments about how much work you each did, and Dad would insist that you had it easier than him.
Yeah. Ugh, that man. Still, you know that I was the one who insists on the divorce, right?
Well, that happens in a lot of cases. I mean, in most cases when people get divorced, it's the woman who files for divorce. But in this case, I mean, it's understandable. You both were just growing apart. Things weren't working out. What else were you supposed to do?
I could have forgiven him. I thought after I showed him the papers, he was actually shocked into realizing how serious I was. He'd apologized to me and told me that he was willing to change.
I didn't know that.
But my pride stood in the way. I didn't want to back down and look weak. I didn't want to have long conversations about it with him after already explaining myself so many times in our arguments. And I couldn't bear going through this all over again if it turned out that he really didn't change.
Knowing Dad, I think he would have gone back to his old ways after a while. Yeah, because if he was going to change, he would have done it by now. If it took you getting a divorce, if it took you serving him divorce papers to get him to say he would change, then he probably wasn't going to change in the first place. He was just saying that to you to say, oh, maybe he will change, so I won't get a divorce with him. Then he'll just go back to being himself, and you're like, dang it, I fell for the banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah. Anyway, at least I'm happy that I got to focus on my career much more after we separated. But it still came at the cost of not being able to watch over you as much as I wanted to.
Mom, seriously, it's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? All things considered, I'm happy with the way things turned out.
Thanks, Qilin. You know how my temper can get when I'm particularly irritated or tired, though. I can't imagine that would have been much fun to argue with.
Well, it's never really fun to argue. That's just the honest truth.
Who knows? If I were more patient or communicative, things would have turned out differently.
You know, I feel like this is teaching him how to talk with Yuri. This is the kind of vibe I'm getting right now from this interaction.
And speaking of arguments, you had one with Yuri yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Geez, an earth-shattering argument on White Day.
Hey, that's an exaggeration. Not really. It's not really an exaggeration. It really was earth-shattering. She got pissed as hell at you and stormed out of the house. And how did you know we had an argument? You left your food on the table, you were asleep on the couch, and Yuri wasn't there. Mom rolls her eyes.
Dinner was still on the table, barely eaten, and you were dozing off on the couch while the TV turned to an infomercial channel.
Guess that makes sense. Well, I did want to ask you for advice on it, though.
So what happened?
I run my hands through my hair as I try to recall everything that happened last night. Well, we started off by talking about Sayori while we were eating. Like, she asked me what we did together this other day, and I started talking about how good of a friend Sayori is.
Whoa, you talked to Yuri about another girl on White Day?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's the point. That's the point that Yuri brought up too. It's like everyone's smarter about this than me. Is there some kind of dating code that I'm missing? I mean, I've already talked about it ad nauseum. I'm just like, come on, man. You should be smarter than that. Yada yada yada.
Apparently, Qilin, what gave you the bright idea to talk about another girl in front of your girlfriend?
Hey, she's the one who brought up Sayori first, you know. But that doesn't mean you need to keep talking about her. Just because she brought up Sayori doesn't mean you need to keep talking about Sayori. Anyway, then Yuri started hinting at how I shouldn't be talking about that. And then I kind of got mad at her and told her that she should work on communicating more clearly. And then she started talking about how she has trouble communicating and has to deal with a lot of problems. And I told her that I have my own problems to deal with too. Mom winces at that, and she's like, "You asshole, you don't need to make it about you." I know, I said some wrong things during our argument. Anyway, Yuri started being really self-deprecating and then she left too. Then a bunch of stuff happened when Yuri kept calling herself a freak. Oh, and I told her she should consider therapy, but she was really unreceptive to it. I was quiet for a moment. I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign. She's just analyzing what you're saying. Sorry if some of my summary was vague, but I don't really want to reveal any secrets without Yuri's permission, you know?
It's quite alright, Qilin. I get it.
Thanks. But honestly speaking, I think a good portion of my points were valid. They were. It was just the wrong time and not in the right way. I won't say that I was right in our argument, but...
You know, someone once said that everything before the word but is BS.
Shit.
Qilin, you shouldn't be looking at it that way in the first place. Both of you should be working to solve your problems together, not pitting yourselves against each other and trying to see who's right and who's wrong.
That's true. I still can't believe that this even happened. My brain keeps going over different things I said, different things I could have done. Everything that's happened last night is just playing on repeat in my head.
Huh, now I know how I feel, eh?
Huh. Maybe Mom actually opening up to me about the divorce. Maybe Mom actually opened up about the divorce for a reason. You know, that's what I said earlier. I was like, you know, I feel like Mom talking about this is gonna give us advice on how to deal with Yuri, and I was right.
Here's your chance not to turn it into another version of me and your father, though. It's probably true that you have a point that Yuri probably needs to learn to communicate her problems more effectively. But it also sounds like she may have some deep-rooted problems that she wouldn't be able to get over as easily as you'd like.
The thing is that she has gotten over it. She has been getting better. Almost like she was cured or something. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. That would be a very presumptuous thing of you to say. What I would say, though, is that your relationship with her has helped her slowly get better at dealing with some of her problems. But that wasn't going to go away. That kind of stuff needs a lot of time to work out. Mom shakes her head.
If these problems were anything similar to what I'm thinking now, it would take a lot more work to cure them. And even though I'm using the word cure, it may be that the problem is just more in remission than anything. Or they might never fully go away at all. Also, I hope you didn't use that exact phrasing with her.
No, I didn't.
Good. I'm guessing you haven't talked to her. Yet today.
Huh. I haven't even brushed my teeth yet.
Were you planning on talking to her then?
Well, I don't know. Wouldn't she want her space?
Qilin, communication is key. Look, I know it's going to be awkward and weird after everything that was said and done yesterday, but it's better to clear things up sooner rather than later, before misunderstandings crop up or negative thoughts become conflated with reality. If you don't talk, how are you able to apologize and solve your issues together? I'm not saying you should totally hound her on the topic, because she may very well want time to think things through. But you still need to open up a dialogue about these things so you can both know where you stand.
That makes sense. Ugh, I'm really dreading talking to her though. There are some harsh words thrown around last night. I don't really know how I'm gonna face her.
You don't know until you try, right?
I mean, I know it's gonna be awkward.
Just talk to her, Qilin. In fact, why don't you call her right now?
Can I eat breakfast first?
First of all, it's nearly noon, and secondly, no.
But I don't even know if she's gonna pick up. You don't think I called her? You don't think I called her last night after she stormed off?
Tensions were high in that moment, Qilin. If she doesn't pick up now, then at least text her.
I reluctantly pull out my phone. What a surprise! No calls or messages back.
Come on, Qilin. I believe in you.
Okay, I get it. As I slowly look for Yuri's name in my contacts, Mom stands up, snapping the photo album shut.
Don't worry, I'm gonna give you your privacy while you call. Let me know how it goes.
Thanks.
Of course.
Before she steps through the door, I stop her one last time. Oh, and Mom? Thanks for everything. I mean, talking to me and helping me clean up and stuff yesterday. And, for being a good mom. Man, that was too cheesy, even for me. However, Mom's bright smile alleviates some of my embarrassment.
It's all part of the job, Qilin.
And with that, she shuts the door with a soft click. It's just me and my thoughts now, plus my phone. Gathering up what little courage I have remaining, I force myself to dial Yuri's number. Oh boy, the dial tone rings on faintly. It's the same as ever, indifferent to the tumultuous feelings within me. I was hoping that Yuri doesn't pick up. Shit, she picked up. Alright, well, I think we're gonna call an episode here. Now's as good a place as any. I'd say this is a good spot. We had a lot of drama happen this episode. I don't know how close we are to the end of the mod, but it seems like things are about to reach the climax. In a different kind of way, I mean. I'm excited to see where this goes, though. There's a lot of action involved. And hope you all are enjoying this series so far. But in any case, it's been real. It's been fun. It's your boy, JQilin. Ciao for now.